Hoi hoi! It's louisity again, and for this video, it's gonna be another video in my series where I recommend books to Pinoy Big Brother housemates or ex-housemates. Hoorah! So, for this video specifically, I'm going to choose some ex-PBB Kumunity 10 teen housemates, and you're probably thinking, who did I select and what books am I going to be recommending them? Well, if you want to find out, watch this video and let us begin. So first off is Don. Now, whenever I see Don, I see this bubbly guy, who's into makeup, and I thought the thing that came into my mind is to recommend him a happy, cute romance book, and I'm going to recommend What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Silvera. Now, this follows the story of two guys, Arthur and Ben, who are from two different places in America. Arthur, I believe, is the one in Georgia, while Ben is in New York City. And then, one time Arthur visits New York City, and he meets Ben on a serendipitous manner. So what if it's gonna be them? And this already has a sequel or a follow-up book. So yeah, it was really cute, it was fun, it was a light read, and I think that this is something that Dawn is going to enjoy. Next is Kai. Now, when I think of Kai, I think she has the potential to join beauty pageants, major beauty pageants here in the Philippines, and I think that she can represent the Philippines in different major pageants. And when I think of pageants, I think of a queen. So I think that she's going to enjoy You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. That this follows the story of a girl who, she wants to financially support herself for college because, she knows that the struggles of her family. And when she found out that the prom queen contest has a cash prize, she decides to join. And then later on, throughout the competition, she falls in love with a girl. And the school sort of finds out and sort of prevents them from having this for their relationship to be more open, or it does talk a lot about identity and being oneself, so I think that Kai is gonna like this one. Next is Aslam. Now, when I think of Aslam, I think that he is very philosophical, or at least he is interested when it comes to thinking about things. I can notice, or rather I notice that when I watch his live streams in Kumu, he does talk about things that are going to make you contemplate or make you think. His words are full of substance, and I think that's what makes him likable. And what I will recommend him, and something that's going to make him think, and I think something that he can sort of relate, because I know that he's Muslim, would be Love, Hate, and Other Filters, written by Samira Ahmed. Now, this follows this girl right here who wants to pursue a career or rather a degree in filmmaking, but her parents think of it otherwise. It does talk about a lot of what commonly people from the global south, or what some people of color experience towards how their parents would want something for them, to thinking of that's going to secure one financially, or in the future have a sort of a sense of a security, which is, of course, personally for me, I understand to a certain extent. And then, of course, she wants to pursue that degree, degree in film, but because there was a situation that involves a terrorist attack, things sort of changed there. So we got to find out if our main character will pursue her desire to pursue her degree in creative or multimedia field, and is she going to follow her parents? So this talk about it's going to make you think about how you approach people of other faith. Now, of course, our main character right here is a Muslim, and I think that maybe Aslam is going to think about the things that are going to be happening in this book, and he can have a stop or provide some insights with it he might enjoy. up next is Tiff. Now, whenever I think of Tiff, I'm thinking about a book that empowers, and for some reason, I'm thinking Patron Saints of Nothing by Randy Reeby empowers. Now, this follows the story of Jay Ruggiero, who lives in the United States, and he finds out that his cousin June was killed, and it had something to do with, he was like trying to figure out if his cousin June was involved in the war of drugs that was happening in the Philippines. Now he flies from the United States to the Philippines, to spend his summer break, or was it spring break? Either way, yeah. So to me, this book, it will make you think about capital punishment. Like, is the death penalty reasonable? Like, it's going to make you think, whatever your stance is about that, it's going to make you think about that. And I think Tiff would like these kinds of books. Like, I know that Tiff doesn't read much, but I think that when she reads this, her mind might change, and she might find like the genres or the books that she would be interested in leaning on reading. And finally for this video, Gab. Now, I know Gab is a fellow bibliophile, bookworm, you name it, and yeah, that's why I'm becoming a Gab fan now, really, because I love the fact that she is into reading. And I know that because I was doing, was leaving comments in her like Kumu live streams about books, and I know that she's looking for like a tearjerker, something that will make her cry, and I couldn't decide on one, so I decided to pick two. So a couple of young adult, contemporary books that will perhaps make her cry, and the first one is I've Already Told Her, You've Reached Sam by Dustin Pfau. Now, this follows the story of our main character, who's of course the girlfriend of Sam. Unfortunately, Sam passed away, but one day the girl receives a call, and it is from Sam. So that's how the story revolves, and it wasn't really like a super tremendous book, but like that last part, I'd have to say, really like made me teary-eyed, made me cry, because it was like, oh my gosh, like, talk about sacrifices, talk about moving on, that's what I noticed about myself lately. Like, when it's about moving on, it just brings tears to my face. Whether I'm reading about it or watching it. I watched Slumberland lately, and that's what made me cry. I mean, the theme is about like moving on, so anyway. And then another one that I'd like to recommend, Gab, would be More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. Now, this follows the story of our guy who is trying to enter into this facility called, I believe the name is Lateo facility, where they can do some stuff in your brain to sort of like forget certain memories, or make you think, or kind of like fix the way you think, sort of basically manipulate or do some tweaking to your brain. Basically what he wants to happen is to forget that he's gay, basically. So he wants to enter this facility, try this procedure to kind of like perhaps maybe forget that he's gay, or that he's like falling in love with a friend or another person, because he also has like a girlfriend as well at the time of the story. So he wanted to enter this, and perhaps maybe it's something that can help like sort of quote unquote fix himself and forget like the other things, which, by the way, according to the story, isn't a guarantee. It talks a lot about like identity, of course, identities, and basically even some stereotypes, because there was that part where they were talking about playing like Street Fighter, and how, or I think it was Tekken, one of the video games, so it's like fighting video games back in the day, and like how he would select like a female character. So to me, that's kind of like stereotyping in some manner, at least. But yes, it's definitely a sad book. We know Adam Silvera writes like sad books, so that's like one of his fortes, and this one is definitely another book of his that should be also, discussed or shared out there. I know he's very popular with They Both Die at the End, and More Happy Than Not is also a great book. Now, another book, now not a tearjerker, but I think that Gab would enjoy, would be Slay by Brittany Morris, that as follows. Our game developer, Kiera. Now, I know, Gab, you're also into video games, so I love the world that Kiera built. Okay, she created this video game like Slay, and the only way for people to be able to join the game is that they have this passcode, which is like specifically or more common for black people. And one day there was this troll who suddenly came after like a murder of a black person in, I believe it was in Kansas City, that the person was killed, and now this person was creating threats. So who is the troll? So there's a little bit of a mystery in there, and I love like the video game aspects about it. And despite that it has like a lot of stories about the different characters in the book, which typically is not exactly my jam whenever a book comes off as if it's like an anthology, but for some reason this one's like, it was able to depict the circumstances and the characteristics well, which made the story vivid, and it does make sense about like the whole like Slay story. And I hope that Brittany Morris continues writing stories out of these like characters, you know. It would be great to see the story of the others. I'm definitely looking forward about their circumstances. Maybe she can create like a collaboration with other authors to be able to really flush out the circumstances or the context behind the other characters in the book. Feel free to comment down below which books will you recommend these housemates, or any thoughts about the books that I mentioned. And if you've made it this far, leave a safety pin emoji. So if you folks like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also click that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon somewhere down there to keep yourselves posted about my videos. And also put down links and handles on my social media accounts, so feel free to check me out and follow me there as well. Especially on Kumu, I'll be doing my live sprints there. Please support me during my campaigns whenever I do my live streams. You know, it could be a reading sprint or just for us to chat, so please support me there. Drop virtual gifts. I do hope to get my blue check back. And yes, you can support me in any way, either with this for a campaign or just some random live stream, you know. So thank you super much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Always be thankful and unleash the reader in you. Bye, y'all. Mwah.